This is Don August with HorseRacingNation.com, and today on Barry Backstretch Talk, I sit down and talk with trainer Keith Nations. Now, usually I do an interview with a trainer about a big race coming up or a big win they just got. But in Keith's case, this is a little bit different. After 6 years at Golden Gate Fields, Keith is leaving to train back east. I sat down with Keith in his tack room this afternoon just before he saddled his final horse at Golden Gate Fields, and here's that talk. Keith, you've been stabled here at Golden Gate Fields for 6 years. Tomorrow, when the summer meet ends, you'll be saying goodbye to the Bay Area and moving to your barn in Philadelphia at Parks Racecourse. How long have you been thinking about making this move?
This has kind of been in the works for the last 3 or 4 months. I got an owner, Hank Nototh, who's a breeder in Pennsylvania and owns a few stallions and shares in some other ones. And he's been kind of encouraging me to, think about making that move. And originally I was going to hold off until the spring to go, but I just figured that, it was a good time right now. I had some other clients and people that were interested in going back there. So I thought instead of just, putting it off, let's just go for it and get it done and get there and get started.
Is Hank in that area right now?
No, Hank's a local guy here in Northern California. But he grew up in Pennsylvania and has some, interest there, family and so on. And he is a visitor there quite often. So I'm going to be seeing him, I'm sure, quite a bit when I get back there. And like I said, he owns, some stallions. He has mares back there. So he definitely has, a lot of interest there to to make it worth my while. And this will be a little more incentive for him to make more visits back there. With me.
Was there anything about the East that maybe lured you to racing over there?
Well, I'd have to say, the obvious is the money, with all the casino racing, on the East Coast and all the opportunities with all the racetracks within, you're 2-3 hours from, 6-7 racetracks. And it just gives you, a lot more opportunity. If it's not working for a particular horse where you're at, you can look in, other spots for the horses. And it just opens up a whole different avenue for your business. And we're hoping to expand into a couple other racetracks once I get back there and kind of figure out which ones I like and which ones I'm not crazy about. And it's more a financial move. Love California. It's been I've really enjoyed my time here, made a lot of really good friends. It's going to be tough leaving, but I feel for the next step in my career, that's kind of the move I need to make.
How many horses do you plan on bringing over there with you? And then once you're there, do you have any plans on trying to broaden your barn right when you get there, or are you going to just kind of lay low with what you have and kind of see how it builds up?
Right now from here, I'm going to be taking around 5 horses from here right now. I do have some owners that said, they're going to send horses once I get set up back there. I'm sure my, business from here will kind of grow back there. And I do have some other local owners from the Pennsylvania area that want to meet with me when I get back. And I'm expecting to grow quite rapidly, and I'm hoping by next year we really got a good barn and we can start thinking about maybe racing at a couple different racetracks at the same time. So
you've had some good success here in the Bay Area. You've always been a better than 20% win trainer. You've had some big horses, Bail Out the Minister, Control Secret, Hexbreaker have brought you a long way here at Golden Gate. What kind of memories do you leave behind here with this track in this area?
Well, the Nikes, Ed DeNike and Teresa, his wife Teresa, are the ones that really got me started, and they're big California owners. They're from Washington, where I'm from originally. And they gave me some really nice horses with the horses that, you just mentioned. And Bail Out the Minister was my first stakes winner as a trainer. And so that one was very, special. That one will always be a special, moment for me. But yeah, I've been very lucky to get some, nice horses here, and I'm hoping that continues when I get back to the East Coast.
And we should mention that the Nike horses are not going over with you to Philadelphia. I believe they're going down south.
Correct. They're going to go down south to Patty Gallagher, and I've talked to Ed, and the ones that can't make it will probably be heading back to Pennsylvania with me. So hopefully they all make it and they all do very well there. But it's a very difficult circuit there, and like I said, the ones that aren't going to quite make it, be good horses there, then he'll have an opportunity to run some cheaper races with big money. So it's a really good opportunity for an owner like Ed to get the big horse and run down south where it's very lucrative, and at the same time have somebody in a spot like I'm going to be at to maximize some of the horses, the cheaper horses.
You mentioned you were from Washington. Why don't you tell everybody just real briefly how you got into racing and how you eventually made it to be a trainer? Because I know you did some other jobs before you became a trainer.
Yeah, I actually got into the horse racing late in life. You know, not until I was in my 30s that I really make that decision to do that. And, you know, I kind of got my interest with it and was started, you know, gambling on horses, loving going to the racetrack. I had some friends who worked on the backside. You know, always just kind of had a passion for it, and one day just decided that's what I'm going to do in my life. I've done other things. I worked at FedEx for like 10 years, and you know, it was a good job, but I just felt I wanted to do a little bit more with my life, and wanted a bigger challenge. And so I just kind of jumped in and did it. Worked starting out at when Emerald Downs first opened, and got my trainer's license probably a year after I got started at Emerald. So, and then eventually moved to California.
You were a jockey agent at one point for a short time, weren't you?
Yeah, I did that over a winter, and the Emerald shuts down in the fall, and, you know, you're trying to figure out what you're going to do to make money for the winter. You know, you start thinking, you know, to go get a job. I used to spend a few winters working for FedEx, you know, getting some hours, and then in the springtime when the track opened, I would go back to the racetrack. But one year I had a couple jockeys that thought I would be pretty good at being an agent at Portland, so I did that. And actually the first year I did it, I had the leading rider with a rider by the name of Jose Zunino. So that was pretty cool, my first year doing it, and we had a really big year that winter.
Is the move to Philadelphia something you see as just like a stepping stone for what you'd like to become in the training world, and maybe go other places and move on to bigger and better things?
Yeah, no question. I think right now, you know, the East Coast is much stronger than the West Coast right now. I think there's a lot more horses. I think there's a lot more potential for owners that might be willing to spend the money to maybe get you the big horse. You're real close to New York, you know, which is as good a racing as there is anywhere. So definitely we want to take it, we want to keep moving forward. I mean, everybody wants to get the Breeders' Cup type horse or the Derby and graded stakes horse. So we're hoping eventually to get to that point. But first things first, we got to get back there and get settled in. But those are definitely in our sights.
I don't speak for everybody at Golden Gate Fields when I say you'll be missed here. You were a great spokesman for the game here. Did a lot of tours at your barn whenever the track needed you to do something for the fans, and your presence in the Bay Area will be missed, and I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you very much. I'm truly going to miss this place. This Bay Area is by far the favorite place that I've ever been. I just love it here. Yeah, it's going to be tough when I actually pack up the car and start pulling out. It's going to be tough. I got a lot of really good friends. I got the help I have at the barn that I'm going to be leaving behind. I'm going to really miss these guys. They've been great employees and great friends, to boot. I got some owners that are from here that I've developed really good friendships with, other trainers, jockeys, agents, and people in the race office. So I'm really going to miss all those guys. And me and my wife, we're big Napa Valley fans and love our wine tasting. So we've decided every year in the fall we're going to take a week vacation and come back and pay everybody a visit.
Well, we know you can always come back if things don't work out, but I can say we hope we never see you back here again, because that means things are going good for you. So good luck to you.